Just a quick little intro. Welcome to 2025. This is my 2024 art journal flip. So, welcome aboard. Hope you can stick with it to the end. I found a few more to add at the end from my books. I looked a different place. Okay, I hope you enjoy. One of my intentions is to do a full moon page in a journal do a full moon page every month, and I managed to do only one in 2024, so we'll start with that. My full moon page. I just, I'll find a picture on Facebook or something, and that's my inspiration. So I use these traveler's notebooks. I like these the best from Diane Reevely, I think. Ranger Delusions. So what I do is I'll get a book like this and I'll unstitch it. And then I'll turn it into 3 signatures. Because they always get a little alligatory. So this is and I put a different cover on it. I took that cover off because once you make 3 signatures out of 1 signature, it doesn't fit. You have to expand the spine. So I made a new cover for it, and this will go around it, but I think it's going around it like that. Anyway. So this was my 2024 book. I call this my Art Everyday book. I don't art every day. And I have a whole pile of books that I work in. So I went through everything and gathered the ones that I had done stuff in 2024. These were my inspirations: Lisa and Tanya, Ann Lair, Peg Robinson with The Art Joy of Sharing, and Susan Taylor Brown, stitching. Jelly printing, streams with other artists. Anyway. And this is a cute little pocket that I learned how to make a couple of years ago from Lizzie Brewer. So, sprout, grow, bloom, and gather. I like to do a page for each of the Celtic high holidays. So those are like February 2nd, May 2nd for May Day, August 2nd, and November 2nd or 1st. I'm not sure which sometimes. But anyway, this is Imbolc, and that's spring. So this is my spring page. Using jelly prints, of course. This is a hand-carved stamp, and this is a hand-carved stamp. This is a hand-carved stamp. This was when I was doing grid journaling. I haven't done a lot of that this year, but I've done a little bit. This was starting with woodies and some little kitties that my honey made. So this just wanted some little kitties in it. Why not? This was attempting to do Procreate for spring equinox. The 8 high holidays are those February, May, August, November, and then there's the solstice and equinox. So that is the 8 high holidays. I did this while the Icelandic volcanoes were spewing up in the spring. This was my May 1st. See, I'm not doing very many. This art every day, art every 6 weeks, whether I need to or not. This was doing some Zentangles, which is one of my favorite things to do. And a verse from the Essene Book of Days. Actually, it was a meditation I wrote back in 2006 that I had printed out. I printed it out and put it in here. This was one I discovered in May, the Art Salute Beginner, and Janet M. Young challenged us to follow making these grids, and then making circles in the grids, and then making patterns in the circles. So I made several of these, and I found that I really enjoyed this. So this was one of my first ones. And then this book might have been my second one. I really love the simplicity of this one. I used metallic watercolors on a sage green grid, and I really love that. So the 12th, this is the 16th. I did a neurographic thing behind it just with 4 circles and Zentangles in the circles. I think this was the last one I did. Yeah. So I had another one in here, I believe. This was the last one I did. Nope, this was the last one I did. This was my favorite one, actually, where you start by watercoloring. Probably I used Inktense colors rather than watercolors, but I kind of put them down in the same way you do watercolors. And I really enjoy this one. And then this one. And that's that book out of the way. I used to just work straight through a book. I insisted on working straight through one book. I lost that somewhere along the line, and now I work in... This is my Art Everyday book, but I have all these other books that I want to work in, so I do. Here is my Telltane, or August 1st. My verse from the Essene Book of Days, one of my favorite books for just different meditations every 6 weeks throughout the year. I feel my body become the earth. That was the feeling for August. This was Peggy Dean's summer creative retreat. So these next few pages are just wonky, sketchy play in her summer creative retreat. So if you get a chance to do this in August, look for it in July or August, Peggy Dean. This is Terry Runyon taught a class in painting cats. Peggy taught a class in, no, this was Kaiko, Hawaiian Aloha Studio. Peggy was sketching little leaves. Had a lot of fun. Tamar Gonheim was doing lettering. Didn't fit on the page. This was a play page. Didn't fit. No sweat. Peggy Dean was doing cottages and urban sketching. Organizing shapes. Mindful sketching. Nikki Hess was doing a single color. Then Beth Schuler was doing something that night, Midsummer Streamathon. And this was my Rolla Picasso. My Rolla Picasso page with bingo. So my word was play. This was doing a meditation with Peggy Dean, which was an animated meditation, which was so cool. Anyway, so it was just to get images. So I started coloring in this, but I haven't obviously finished, with the cat holding the book, painting cats. Maybe I'll go back and finish that one of these years. I don't know. This was my birthday card from my friend Marcia. She and I go back to the 70s. That's us with walking out on a friend's yard. To have a friend takes time. That's that wonderful quote by, good old what's her name? These don't have words in it yet, but these in this little booklet I made to put in here. I just have like 4 pages in it. I'm going to put the story of Marcia and me. But she sent this great birthday card. As the years go by, we realize we can't change who we are. Guess we'll just have to be content being the fantastic, adorable, incredible women we've always been. That really fits. This was in the Summer Creative Retreat. No, this was in a Norbag workshop. I'm in a group called the Book Arts Group. So a lady from the San Diego Book Arts Group did a workshop collage. Like, pick a single dominant color and a contrasting color. So I picked white and pink or purple for this. This has some instructions, but I can't remember what they were because this one just kind of went off on this, whatever this is, journey, and I loved it, so I didn't go back. Here was my autumn equinox page. Softness fills my days in this season of autumn light. Oh, this is an illustration by Amy Rose Moore, who's a local artist here in Humboldt County, and she makes these wonderful. This is so much my style that I just loved it. So I made a page to go with it. This was the Sketchbook Revival workshop, which was I'm not going to remember her name unless I see it in here. But the teacher was Annika from Zenlini, who's one of my favorite Zentangle. This is to make a blob of paint and then do Zentangle in it. So I made a couple of those. This was an upside down thumbnails by Linda Germain on sketch. Oh, Karen Abend, Abend, with Sketchbook Revival in October. So the thing is to pick the little twinchy thumbnails and glue them down on the page, and then you turn the book upside down and you trace, you do the sketch in pencil upside down. So that's why this is here and this is on the left when you look at it correctly. Because you're doing it upside down, thumbnails. I never got around to that one. See, there's still things to finish in this book. This was Karen Abend, and she did a thing that's really cool called travel tokens. A daily practice. Just something that represents your day. So here's one of the leaves that fell. And one of her quotes, the surprising things that come out of letting one thing lead to the next. Travel token. Pick up something on your daily rounds as a travel token. Sketch it. Write about it. Why did it grab your attention today? What other shapes does it suggest or lead you to? Well, I made this into a travel token because all of a sudden I heard this Rachmaninoff piano concerto coming from my partner's stereo. And it was my beloved companion in my first year when I went away to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville to college. And it just totally brought back those nights in the dorm. This was in this was Wendy Solganic, whose Willow Wanders, watercolor for relaxation. And this is where she puts the colors out. She chooses a few colors, and then she, without cleaning her brush, dips her pen into the next color. And so the colors kind of have a tone, an undertone that unifies them. Very interesting. Look her up. Watercolor for relaxation. And then I started making these little things in 2024, inspired by Shannon Green and probably some other people, where you just take a magazine and you draw out your wildflower in heavy black, and then you go around where you've drawn it out in white, and then you cut it out. You fussy cut it. If you don't like fussy cutting, not for you. But I happen to love fussy cutting, so there you go. This was a travel token. This was on my way to line dancing. The Adorney Center Recreation Center is right on the bay, on the water. So that's the view. This was my Samhain, which is the November 1st, November 2nd. And I went to a ritual where they gave out these wonderful cards. So I liked them all. See, there's a little person up there in the tree. There's people. There's a witch back here in the forest. I just like these images so much. The Yule singer, Hecate's, whatever. And then silence. These are all wonderful winter cards for me. And Wendell Berry's great poem, which is also a song, but I won't sing it. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark. Go without sight. And find that the dark too blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings. That is a very favorite. This was some more following. This was with Graphitint colors. And some more. This is the magazine cutout. And this is more of the Willow Wanders. She had a page like this where she had drawn leaves on top of a background. She did it with gouache. I can't remember if I did this with gouache or with something else. And the last page in this book, I was just doing her same watercolor relaxation with just a few colors and mixing paints up with one another. And I got to this far and didn't go any farther. So, let's see. That's that book. So, one of the things that I do is a kind of a weekly ritual with Tanya McGuire when she streams on Sundays. And so this was a 12/31/23. Happy New Year to my favorite badass chicks. So this is the little book. This is my little book number 5. We just make a page every Sunday. It's nothing. It's basically with things that are on her desk. And for some reason that day it made me think of this old TV show from the 70s, Make-A-Wish. 1971 to 1976 with Tom Chapin. Make a wish, have a ball, dream a dream, be it all. If you want it, you can get it. But to get it, you gotta want it. Anything you want to try. So the This is my local artist again, the cat, the magician cat. Just let go, fly high, make a wish, dream a dream. I love this little book. It's like kind of more captures every week. January 28th. No, but this is the whole quote that I put part of it on my Georgia O'Keeffe, that I put part of it on my Marcia page. Nobody sees a flower really. It is so small. It takes time. We haven't time. And to see takes time, like to have a friend takes time. This is actually, I did a scan of these things that I was using on the jelly plate. And they were so pretty that I just cut them up, printed them small and cut them up to use in a smaller setting. This book, this little book, we make these little books, and I made mine on an old telephone answering book from 1221. I used this the year 2021. This was our message answering book. But I love this cover. So when I had to make my next little book 5 after 21, I got to use my cover. Anyway, playful. So what I do is make, this is 2 signatures. I'll make the signatures, I'll sew them together, and then I'll jelly print on them. So each page has some kind of background that I've done on the jelly plate. So every page, I just do this consecutive pages. The other gals who do the little books just go fish around to whatever page they want and put it random, but I just put mine one after another. These are from a knitting calendar. I'm not a knitting, a quilting calendar. And then one of those little strings of kitties. This was a mandala that I did, and then I also printed it out small to put on this page, because this page, I loved the way the page looked, and I didn't want to mess it up. I didn't want to cover it, so I didn't. This page could use covering. These were from Kim Polton, who makes little flowers, a little digi that I think it was a giveaway in, yeah, it was a giveaway. She has the courage to fall, the spirit to rise, and the resilience to stand. I don't know exactly what was on my mind that day. Dream Spirit. This was an image that Kathy Whitney sent me. This was some wrapping paper. Looks like I need to glue that down. Ooh, I need to glue that down. With brave wings. Got a little sticky here. These are 2 napkins. Wisdom comes in many forms. That's another one from Linda. That cute. That makes me laugh. Here we go. Great artist. I like that one. That's a selfie stamp. That's a selfie picture, and then I made a stamp out of it. This is one of Barb Owen's mandalas on her inspiration deck, mandala inspiration deck. So I like to, she encouraged us to buy a set of cards, to cut them apart and put them in our journals. I don't do it very often, but when I do, I finish out the design around whatever I use of the card. That's fun. That's a fun little challenge. This has some blingy paper on it. These were little prints of the same mandala from her deck. These were, I never use rub-ons. So I had found some rub-ons somewhere and bought them. And that's what this is. And so that's what got on that page. My very favorite Good Times, Good Friends time to play. You know, making these little books. We make these little books during Tanya's live stream. So there's several of us making them together. And it really is a wonderful little weekly ritual. I treasure it. This was a digi from Susan Taylor Brown. Oh, all of this ephemera was from Susan Taylor Brown. I like that. That page. Found poetry. Bluebells bear the promise, refreshed, tender new leaves. I like that picture. This is probably from Wee Moon magazine. Wee Moon calendar, desk calendar. This is a labyrinth. This is one that we've had carved in our mown in our backyard. We have a labyrinth. It's not. This is the 7th circuit. We cut ours down to have 5 circuits. Oh, and I wove the back of that. That's fun. Summer Magic. This is a napkin under there. Lazy Days of Summer. This, I think, is some of Susan Taylor Brown's digis. Another of my labyrinth. Lazy Days of Summer. That's 623. Oh, I put a little thing in here. Little book number 5. Just finished the final page of my little book number 5. Cover is reusing the phone message cover from 2021. Makes this a little bit bigger than my usual 6x9 books. Made from envelopes. My next little book, number 6, will be the cyanotype book that Dolores Guffey gave me when Emmy sent her extras for giveaway. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6. So this is the cyanotype from Emmy in Pennsylvania. And it was given to me, and it holds it's like the size of the envelope books that I make and use. So here's my number 6. And here's another one of Barb Owen's mandalas. And one of Linda's kitties. 630. Play. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. North, south, east, west. I love, this is a stamp I have. I love this stamp. And I love this one too. I love all these are stencils. Here's some more of my little cutout flowers from magazines. You know, where you draw the magazine and draw the flower on the color that you find in the magazine. Oh, this is when I started following Jerry Bellini, who is doing dots, and that is a lot of fun. So these were 3 of my dots. They end up being 3 inches. The squares are 3 inches when they're stitched. See, they're all stitched on the side. We must make our lives as we sew, stitch by stitch. And I'm still intending, actually they're pinned onto a pillow sham that I want to stitch them down on. Here's where I tried the painting cats. You must be present to win. Here's Lisa Young Art, Leaca Young Art. Made these pocket full of posies. And so she'd draw a bunch of little posies. And you put them in a pocket. I think I have a pocket coming up here pretty soon. Here's some more of my magazine. This was Embrace Beautiful Chaos, so I put down a bunch of threads from yarns, and then I covered it over with tulle and stitched it down. So, chaos. Embrace beautiful chaos. I love this quote. My soul is a dark forest. My known self will never be more than a little clearing in the forest. Isn't that true? So true. Bright summary page. September. Grateful. This is from a quilt book, quilt calendar. This is one of my little magazine floral things. I really, really love that technique. I love it. All of these pages that show up with that kind of thing on it. Oh, here's my pocket full of posies. Now this is from Lisa Young Art. She was in the Summer Creative Retreat. Isn't that cute? So this pocket, you can open this. You can glue this as a pocket, so the whole thing is pockets. Or I made it into a card, so I can write on the card. So this is a pocket. This is a pocket. And then here's Tanya's back home, so I'm making this for my little book page. It's a space between signatures and could use dimension. Blob opposite is from Barb Owen's Stream on Friday. This was a Casanova is the name of that tangle. Casanova. See possibility everywhere. Love this little book. You know, it's just, then look at this. It's so quiet. Just so simple. It didn't have much on the background, but I liked it. Peace I ask of thee, O river. December 1st, 24. This is winter 12/29. This must be the last one I did in 24. Sleeping spirits grow strong. Yep, and this is 1/5/25. So I'm going to stop on this book and go to the next book. No earthly idea how many minutes I've been. I did a little bit in my Zentangle book. Not a whole heck of a lot. I found an artist I really like, Kelly Blouin, Blouin. And some other artists, they were making just little vignettes in these circles, so I did some of those. Kelly was making a mandala Monday, and so I did that one. And then I put my Inktober tangles in here from Inktober this year. So this is in October, the whole month of October, you do a different tangle. There's several prompt lists for Inktober, and the one I'm using is the one called Inktober Tangles, and it's put out by Stephanie Jennifer. She puts out a list in the fall. She's done it for about 5 or 6 years. So this is the first half of my year. This is the second half of the year. Fun, huh? Lots of fun. And that's all the tangling I've done. This is an older book of this is another one of those Dina Wakley books where I took it out and I didn't expand the spine this time. I just used it. I'm just doing different things on black. This was done in 24. See, I haven't done that many in black in here. I gotta do some more in black. This was one of, this is the I started this in 22, inspired by Susan Taylor Brown, and these are words of songs that we sing in my singing group. My words are tied in one with the great mountains, with the great rocks and the great trees, at one with my body and my heart. Will you all help me with supernatural power, and you day and you night? All of you see me one with this world. I have it referred to Tewa Indians in Alaska. I don't know if that's correct. I have it also. So anyway, these are all different songs that we sing. I wish that I could show you. I wish that I could show you. Whenever you are lonely or walking in the dark, I wish that I could show you. I wish that I could show you the astonishing light of your being. These are, I'm going back. I'm not just showing you 24. This is 22, spiraling into the center of our wheel. We are the weavers. We are the woven ones. We are the dreamers. We are the dream. This book still has nice energy for me, and I keep wanting to do more in it. This is 22. This was a woven background fabric. And I have my little song on here. A song by Betsy Rose. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done, lay it down. Lay it down, your every burden. Evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night and gentle darkness. Day is done, lay it down. Isn't this lovely? This is an old hymn in our hymnal. The Unitarian Universalist hymnal, so it may be different in other Christian hymnals. Calm soul of all things, make it mine to feel amid the city's jar that there abides a peace of thine I did not make and cannot mar. the will to neither pine nor cry, the power to feel with others give. Calm, calm me more, nor let me die before I've had a chance to live. Tallis Cannon. Boy, I need that right this minute, don't I? I need that this year. Well, that's good, it's there. This was the one I did in 2024, the only one I did in 2024. Sing upon joy, sing upon grief, sing upon the light of a new budding leaf. What is broke can be mended, what is hurt can be healed, what is lost can be found, hidden, revealed. So these are broken vases with the healing done out of blue. I'm going to put that back in. This slips in funny the way I've got it folded in there. There we go. Isn't that sweet? I just love that's Barb Owen's stamp, face stamp. Okay, that brings me to the final book. My God, I don't even know how much time it's taken. This little book, don't untie it, is sent by Janet Baum. She sent me one of her little junk journal books. Look at this, Department of something, ledger paper, all this stuff in here. So this is what most people do in junk journals. They put little papers in. This was her note that went with it. And so I just have been using this as a glue book, just to make glue book pages. So there are whatever. So this is my Janet thank you. And here's some more of my little kitties on a really thin papery page. This is playing with some Christmas wrap and making a hole in the page. This was just a regular, junk journal page where things go together because they do, because you say so. This was a card from Kathy Whitney, Christmas 2024, and one of my wonderful little floral thingies, and some papers and images that Sharon Lombard sent me. And so here's my second day of 2025, and this is how 2025 our world will change. And it says, we hold each other up. So I'm going to end with that. With the beginning of 2025. And a big thank you if you've stayed and watched my whole video. Good golly, you deserve a reward for that. Thank you very much for watching. But wait, there's more. There's always more. So Nicole Relax Cut Glue, I think, showed this technique of finding a magazine image and then coloring it. So I have done this twice this year. And it's a lot of fun. These are with the new Sharpie markers. I have a new set coming tomorrow, actually. This is several mandalas I did this year. This was a 7-point mandala, which is one of my favorite forms to do. And the next one is a circle. Can't remember who was showing these, but I did the same ones that she did in a circle. And then the last two are back to Kelly Blouin, Blouin, Mandala Monday. So look for Mandala Mondays. This was one of 8 points. This was one of 4 points, but it's got an 8 point in the center. Summer solstice. And yet there's even more. This book I started, this is my very first junk journal, a calendar from the Disabled Vets from 2015 that I took apart to make a little book I call Twins. And on each page I had some kind of magazine image on one side, and I had a drawn or Zentangled or copied and made black and white on opposite. So this just plays with the idea of making a Zentangled image, making a pair, making twins, but twins with the difference. Sisters from another mother. I am woman, hear me roar. Playing with images, playing with, yeah, the work of the hands is a gift from the heart. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. This was one I took and reversed in Photoshop. This was one I just drew by hand to the best of my, ability. This was one of my favorite ones. I did, again, the reverse in Photoshop, and then I dropped out the color, reduced it to the line imagery. This one is a croquis, C-R-O-Q-U-E. I picked it up from the internet, and I colored it on my iPad. This was, of course, a magazine image, and I just drew it and tangled it. Be original. This was one, I finished this page and a couple of others, one other one, I guess, in 2024 to finish this book finally, which I started in 2015. This was my last one. You must be present to win. So that is finally it.